For more on the stunning development and what it could mean for Mueller's Russia investigation, let's bring in Chicago federal court litigator Andrew Stoltmann. So, Andrew, you think that Paul Manafort's going to sing? Does he have anything to sing on? And what do you think he could tell prosecutors?
Well, I think everybody assumes because he reached a deal with the prosecutors, he has something nefarious to say about President Trump. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. Remember, federal prosecutors have a cudgel, and that cudgel is an ability to charge and bifurcate charges and try you in two separate trials, which can bankrupt many a man. So he's been found guilty once, and now he pled guilty a second time. But I don't think you can necessarily say just because he pled guilty that he may have something incriminating on the president.
Well, then why would everyone assume that?
I think everybody would assume it because optically, when you have your former campaign chairman pleading guilty to a crime, something that took place 12 years ago, something that has nothing to do with Russian collusion or the president, it's sexy, it's interesting, it's fascinating, it's like catnip to the media. So yes, they want to focus in on it, but it doesn't mean necessarily that the president did something wrong.
And look, he was part of that meeting reportedly with Jared Kushner and with Donald Trump Jr. with the Russian lawyer. What do you say to critics who would say that's the collusion? That they got emails saying, wait, let me say that they had emails saying was part of the Russian government's support of Mr. Trump, that they had information to incriminate Hillary Clinton, and he was part of that meeting. What if he tells Mueller's team, that was where we were trying to coordinate information from Russia? What if he says that?
Then it's a very bad day for the president. You hit the nail on the head. That is the problem for the president, because out of the 5 people who have been close to the president, who have pled guilty to crimes, this is the only one, Mr. Manafort, who was in that June of 2006 meeting at the Trump Tower that Special Prosecutor Mueller is really focusing in on. So if he flips and if he has incriminating information, or if he makes incriminating information up, then that's a very bad day for the president.
Did you just say make incriminating information up? Would he lie?
It wouldn't be the first time somebody lied in order to save their rear end when they were facing 10-plus years in prison.
Well, Rudy Giuliani, the president's lawyer, has said that there was no collusion, that Manafort would have no information on any of this, and that the president did nothing wrong. Let me point out what the Wall Street Journal was saying today about what Manafort has said in the past, saying, quote, the longtime Beltway lobbyist has consistently said he has no information to offer Russia since there was no collusion. This is reported by the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, which investigated Mr. Manafort and found no evidence of an election conspiracy. A close to the Manafort legal team repeated that the cooperation agreement does not involve the Trump campaign. There was no collusion with Russia. So then how does he turn around and say, well, I was lying, that's not true. This is what happened, bada bing, bada boom.
That's the problem when it comes to the special counsel's investigation. It's almost like a kangaroo court. If we were in court, a first-year law student would be able to impeach these witnesses based off of what they said previously. But this isn't a court of law. In reality, it's a court of public opinion. So you can get people who are willing to sell somebody out in order to save their behind. And that's just kind of the weird, very odd nature of the special prosecution and the special counsel's investigation.
Well, calling it a kangaroo court, isn't that a bit much? I mean, he's been appointed. It passes muster by federal judges in the legal system. You have grand jurors, citizens who are sworn to uphold the Constitution and their duty as American citizens to mete out justice appropriately and fairly.
The problem is this entire investigation started with respect to Russian collusion, and now it is transmogrified into something grotesque, into something going down every single rabbit hole for a potential crime. There's a police officer I once know who said, if I follow you for 500 miles, I'm going to be able to find something that you did wrong during those 500 miles. And because it has an unlimited budget, it has an unlimited scope, it can go down any rabbit hole at once. Of course, he's going to find problems. He's going to find issues. He's going to find violations of the law. But what I'm curious about is where's the Russian collusion and where's the proof to it? I think that's what the American public wants to hear.
Yeah, finally, on that issue, what do you say to those who say that meeting was Russian collusion and that it's certainly appropriate to go down anything that he wants to in case laws were indeed broken?
That's a $64,000 question. Let's see what happened with respect to the testimony, with respect to people who were at that meeting. Let's see what Mr. Manafort said. Nobody knows what happened at that meeting except the 5 or 6 people that were there, and it's still to be determined.
That is the case. Andrew Stoltmann, thank you, and we'll see what develops from this stunning Manafort plea. Thank you. Rafael?
Anytime.